This is bad.
It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep trying to call myself professional about this. Maybe it's what else you're pointing out. It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep at it out. Liberal from New York. In the bathroom, I couldn't wipe my ass. Excuse me. I apologize.
Technology is just an...
Alright. Yeah, I know that intro is annoying as shit, but yeah, welcome to Fox News. Anybody who's watched any of these videos knows the platform of the show already. It's a Marxist and anti-imperialist campaign, pretty much. I want to inform people about how capitalism is contradictory. It's not useful in today's world. How the United States has meddled and manipulated other countries' situations. And ultimately, in the future, how socialism should be able to work. But today, I want to talk specifically about the United States media and their deceptive nature. I want to suggest to everybody to basically swipe what they've learned from United States media. And this includes a ton of things. It includes a ton of things you've been told about other countries, their leaders, about other governments, about whatever has to do with their countries. There's stuff in, the domestic aspect of things too, but I really want to focus on, other countries today. I kind of usually do at this point. But yeah, if you can re-examine any kind of narrative, if you can't immediately, just wait until next time it's brought up and just question it. Really, just question new shit, question the old shit. This is pretty much what Descartes does in his meditations, where he decides to doubt absolutely everything as a start. He asks if you can doubt, which of course he can. He doubts that he doubts, and everything he's still doubting leads to the conclusion, I think, therefore I am. And the reason he has this sort of huge skepticism is because he doubted his senses, could accurately interpret anything that was going on. He thought everything was an illusion, and he pretty much questioned all of existence for a second. But yeah, the media is pretty worthy of this kind of slip. If you haven't noticed already, it's pretty untrustworthy. It needs like a restart button, or whatever you're going to call it. Yeah, even through what I've shown, through just sources which are very hard to refute, if at all refutable, the media should have completely lost your trust, and the restart should have happened already. But I'm suggesting it to make sure that this is without a doubt considered. So yeah, take a moment to think about what the United States and the media has done to lose your trust, and let's be clear, the media is, for most intents and purposes, run by the government, or palatable to the government very, very much. This list includes many cases, but I'm making a list of just bullshit that they've done pretty much together, or in close contact. It includes many cases, but these aren't the end of the full list of the unclassified and declassified and classified cases. And this is just starting from the mid-50s. The United States and our media have deceived us just a fuck ton. Just since then, the CIA campaign, Operation Mockingbird, the one it was started shortly after the CIA was created. They wanted to infiltrate a massive number of media outlets and either paid off or placed journalists in these outlets to spread outright made-up stories and disinformation about communist or socialist leaders and countries. This created a near unstoppable culture of anti-communism in the West, and this is really just now starting to plateau. If it is, I mean, if it's plateauing at all, it's just starting to. But yeah, then there's Guatemala, videos about that. There's a video about that I made. There's Chile, the democratically elected government. They infiltrated their media, killed like their commander-in-chief, not the president, but their actual commander-in-chief, which was separate from Allende. They infiltrated the media platform El Mercurio to influence the people and rise up against Allende. Our government lied to us about selling weapons to who was supposed to be the country's sworn enemy, which was Iran. Still lots of disinformation about Iran today. And they even let our supposed campaign against drug abuse slip out of our hands. The drug war or whatever, which they cared so much about, they let that slip in the wake of a communist uprising in Nicaragua. They wanted to stop them, and even though they had no impact on the United States. Then in the 90s, the government hired a woman to lie to the entire world about what happened in Kuwait with Iraqi troops and the incubators and stuff like that. She lied to the whole world. And then the people listening to her speak were just like, I don't know if they were in on it. Who the hell knows? But they totally bought it. They spread propaganda to, invade or whatever, or take down Saddam. Or they wanted dirt on him. They couldn't really find it. Then the government lied to the people about Saddam in Iraq again with the weapons of mass destruction. And then his supposed links to Al-Qaeda. And then Muammar Gaddafi, they lied about Libya with Muammar Gaddafi, calling him a brutal dictator. He repressed protesters, which is something everyone does. Yeah. Really, he led for 40 years, made them the richest country in Africa, and then we spread a bunch of lies about him. And, I don't know how much that is true at all. Really, they just called him a brutal dictator, and then after that is like rumors. Really nothing ever like corroborated. Then the government, again, here we go, again. The government and media flat out ignored the United States-backed strikes in Yemen, which were done by Saudi Arabia. The strikes alone have killed nearly 20,000 people, and that's just from the strikes. It's not the only thing Yemenis people are dying of. In the country, up to 85,000 children under the age of 5 have died of hunger since 2015, and they hid that. There's just no saying otherwise at that point. You don't just not know about that. If you're an ally with Saudi Arabia, you don't know what wars they're in. And then, of course, you don't tell the media about that. And it's just like, Jesus Christ. I don't know if the media had anything to do with hiding it. They're dumb as rocks anyway. But yeah, we stay with Saudi Arabia because, of course, they're the big oil partner. Quote, geopolitics. All the talk about geopolitics. No one here likes Saudi Arabia. No one here does. But we stick with them because they got oil. We stick with them because, I guess we love Saudi Arabia because, we love oil. and we love the money it brings. Yeah, it's bullshit. It's terrible. Yeah, both the government and the media have lied a whole bunch already, just like completely infamous for lying. And then they're doing it again, lying about Venezuela. Just throughout his tenure as president, like just lie after lie. But yeah, this is just a limited version of the track record. It should be easy to conclude the United States government isn't capable, nor is its practical state media capable of telling the truth if it means the cause for war is interrupted or if money making is at risk. There's no good reason to trust them when it comes to so many things. Just stop trying to sift through it. Believe things like Brad Pitt is 50. That's fine. That's, you're not going to be able to disprove that. If Kim Kardashian marries another person, yeah. There's pictures of that, I'm sure. But if there's a political situation which means anything, just at the very least check non-Western foreign media outlets. It's just time we start believing the people America opposes too, and listen to their case before we give America the benefit of the doubt. The United States is good at one thing, and that's demonizing the enemy through their media. Throw whatever they've said in the trash. Be skeptic at first. Don't just believe it. They don't deserve it. But yeah,